Let's look at the argument sample and break down some of the beneficial points. The introduction serves to set up the argument. It opens with the topic, which is homework. From there, it moves down to the thesis statement. In this case, the author is in favor of homework. Remember, in order to argue, you have to take one side or the other. You have to be for or against. The first body point indicates that the author is in favor of homework because it helps with achievement levels. That's a good point. But in order for her to claim that it helps with achievement levels, she has to find an opponent who would claim the opposite. Notice at the very beginning of the point right here, she addresses the opponent, who claims there is little or no benefit to giving homework. Now, in order for her to claim that it helps, she had to find somebody who claimed that it didn't help. This is the hardest part of the paper, finding the opponent. No opponent, no argument. The second point, she claims that it will become a nice habit, not an inconvenience. But in order to claim that it becomes a nice habit and not an inconvenience, she has to find someone who claims the opposite. So up here, somebody claimed there's not enough time for homework. It doesn't fit into the schedule. Once she found somebody who said that it doesn't fit into the schedule, she was able to argue against it by saying, yes, it does. It becomes a habit, not an inconvenience. And then she finishes with the conclusion, the call to action. What should people do? Make sure the homework is corrected the next day so students can adjust. Students should change their attitude. That's what needs to happen. The conclusion is what needs to happen next. Now, this author came up with a topic, which was homework. And she came up with 2 reasons why she was for homework. But in order to write about those, she had to come up with 2 people who disagreed, who claimed the opposite. That would be the opposition. Now it's time for you to take on the hardest part of the paper. Look at your 2 body points. Now you have to find people who claim the opposite. You have to find it in research. Once you do, you have an essay.